When I first went on a CND demonstration in the early 1980s against cruise missiles, I stood in the huge crowd and I looked up at the stage and I saw in the far distance a very small dot wearing a white shirt, and that very small dot was someone who has actually loomed extremely large in the peace movement for many decades now, and he is certainly a great inspiration to me, and I'm sure to countless others as well. Please welcome Bruce Kent.
I'm absolutely delighted. No one's ever called me a small dot before. 14.5 stone, a small dot. First of all, I'd like to thank Brian Hoare very much for giving us his back garden. So let's give him a chair. Well done, Brian, wherever you are. And secondly, I had to say, I've been busy looking for the last 3 weeks for a proper cabinet minister to debate this business with. And I have a large bottle of malt whiskey for anybody who can produce a cabinet minister who's willing to stand up and talk about it. And oddly enough, no one has come forward. So anybody who can help me in this matter would be a great advantage. The fact is, there is no longer an argument in favour of British nuclear weapons or any nuclear weapons. The argument is finished. We heard from Barry about the nonsense of the insurance argument. You don't take out an insurance policy that increases the risk that you are actually trying to insure against. And that's what we have with British nuclear weapons. The only way forward is total abolition of every nuclear weapon in the world. That's what's required, and that's what we must be working to. There is one substantial point, because we have an absolute queue of MPs there waiting to talk to. One point I would really like to make: we are a very large movement, but we can be very much bigger if we bring on board all those whose work is being deprived because of the money that's going on Trident. And I want to see Oxfam and Christian Aid and the Red Cross and Save the Children and all these organisations saying that this money is an absolute waste of human resources and should be spent on things that are really valuable for the whole world. So let's open up our campaign and get everybody on board. We can do it. Work on that. And I would like to say finally, and it will be finally, this is not, whatever happens tonight, the encouragement, but it's not the end. We are the inheritors of a long tradition, and others will go on forwards after us, working for a world free of war and free of violence. And the next landmark ahead of us is the review conference of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And I want our delegate to go to that treaty conference and say, Britain has given up its nuclear weapons. Let's work to that aim in the next 3 years. It's possible. Thank you very much indeed.